Today is Snowman versus Gingerbread DIYs. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Jackie and let's get started. For DIY number 1, I'm going to begin with 4 of these wooden arrows from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to remove this jute twine and little clips. I don't need them at all. So here I just removed everything. Put away the jute twine for another time. Throw away the little clips. Don't need those at all, the staples. So now I'm going to take some of the wood glue, the super glue wood glue that the Dollar Tree sells, and I'm going to kind of saturate this wooden arrow on one side, and I'm going to use my brush to spread everything nice and even. That way it doesn't ooze out on the sides. And I'm going to take a second arrow and place it on top. And then I'm going to take these craft clamps and I'm going to clamp everything in place. That way nothing moves and everything's nice and flush and even, because all I'm trying to do is thicken up this arrow to a thicker piece of wood instead of just a thin one. I want it to be a thicker piece. So I'm going to do this to both. And now I have 2 thicker arrows. Now once all the glue is nice and dry, I'm going to remove all the clamps. They did their job. These are fantastic for this kind of job. Okay, so now I'm going to take one and place it on a scrap piece of wood, and I'm going to take a drill with one of these spades, the 1 inch. Now here I was attempting to create a hole with this, but my drill just died and I don't even know where my charger is. So I had to get my husband to cut them for me, and he didn't do a great job. Bless his little heart. But I was able to sand everything down and it was okay. Okay, so now I'm going to take 2 of these wood planks from the Dollar Tree, and I'm ready to paint. And I'm going to take my apple barrel paint in the color nutmeg brown, give it a full paint, and I'm going to take my super glue wood glue again, and I'm just going to go on the side of one of these arrows, and I'm going to place one of the little planks, and I'm going to kind of hold it for a little bit to help it set. Now this glue is great, it sets quickly, but it needs a little more help after you paint. So maybe that's the trick, maybe not paint until everything is glued down. But I wanted to paint everything, so I guess we just have to deal with whatever. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and put this in this position to help keep everything in place. And then I do the same thing to the second one, and I just place it in this angle. It's actually against a box that's on the other side. You can't see it, but there's a box there. But I need this angle to keep this shape. So I'm gonna allow it to dry. Now in the meantime, I'm taking 8 tumbling tower blocks, and I'm just going to create a double bar. So 2 rows of 4 to create like a nice thick bar. And I'm going to glue everything with my wood glue, and then paint everything with my nutmeg brown paint like this. And I made two sets of these. Now I'm ready to continue. I think these are set enough, so I'm going to position them to adhere them together. And all I'm going to do is add some more of the wood glue on the other side of this plank, and doing the same thing to the other plank as well. Add some glue, and now positioning everything together like this. And this one I allowed to dry for overnight because it was a lot of glue. Here it is the next day. Everything's looking great. The top structure is nice and sturdy. Now I want to add these bars to the bottom. That way it's a nice sturdy base as well. And I'm just going to place it on the side. A little bit of wood glue. Here I added too much, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of share it with the other piece. Put one set on the front, one set on the back, and allow this to dry. And I also took 2 craft sticks of the jumbo size, and I glued them together and painted them in the same color. And then I'm going to add these to this piece here. It seemed like it was missing a little bit of roof. So I'm just going to use my bigger clamps to hold this in place, and then carefully turn everything around. And do the same thing to the other side because the other side is not complete. So add a little bit more glue to both sides, and place my doubled jumbo craft sticks and my craft clamps. Boy, these are tongue twisters, guys. These are tongue twisters. So I'm gonna allow that to set, In the meantime, I purchased these rolling pins from Amazon. They already had the red handles, and the handles were a little bit longer, so I love that. And with my Cricut, I cut out these wordings. This one says gingerbread, one says peppermint kisses, one said home sweet home, and one says calories, Christmas calories don't count. So I'm going to place these on my rolling pins. I'm just going to take my time and getting it all on here. Little finagling, a little effort. Looks great. And I'll do the same thing to the rest. Here's my last one. This one's the one that says Christmas calories don't count. Because yeah, it's true. They don't count. No way. Okay, here's my last one. Now I'm going to take some Mod Podge, and of course I'm going to add this to each of the rolling pins. That way they are nice and sealed, and I don't have to worry about anything falling apart or the decals coming off. And you can very easily do this with Dollar Tree stickers as well. I was actually going to do one of the rolling pins with Dollar Tree stickers, but I didn't have red. Yeah, so oh well. But maybe one day I will. Now I'll just allow these to dry. In the meantime, I'm removing all these craft clamps from my little stand. This is going to be a little stand to hold all of my rolling pins. Now I got another decal that I made with my Cricut, and this one just says Bake Shop in just some white. So I'm just going to press it on and just take my time, get it on there like this. And then I made another little one that says Mrs. Claus. So it's Mrs. Claus Bake Shop. I've always wanted to make something like this. I thought this would be a really cute idea. And it's all Dollar Tree wood, well, except the craft sticks. Those are the jumbo ones from Walmart. But yeah, everything else is Dollar Tree wood. Okay, so now I'm going to take some of my rickrack. And you can't find rickrack at the Dollar Tree. It's sold at Easter time for spring and for Easter. But you can definitely find rickrack at the Dollar Tree. And they usually bring it out every year around spring. But I do like this rickrack from Amazon. It's really good quality. So all I'm going to do now is just take some hot glue and go along these sides to embellish my little house form. I'm going to go up and down the roof panels and then across where the roof panel meets the craft stick, all the way up down like this, or should I say across, and place my rickrack on. And I don't ever cut it until I know where I need to cut it. I don't like to cut ahead of time and then just waste it. So here I'm going to continue going around the little roof line. Sorry, my hand's in the way. So yeah, just like this, going all the way around. And now with the top done, now I'm going to do the sides where the arrows meet together. That way you don't see a seam there. And I'll just do the same thing, just using a little bit of hot glue. I use my detail glue gun that puts out very little glue, and just follow along the whole edge, the whole line, down like this, and putting down the rickrack, and also go along the bottom edge as well on both sides like this, and then go back up on the other side, of course. Give it a complete look. And like I mentioned, I do this to both sides because like I said, I like to have a complete look. Now here's the last little edge. Go all the way down and up. Press everything down and then snip. And then look at that. It's looking so cute. Look how cute. Oh my goodness, it's adorable. Now my rolling pins are nice and dry, so I'm going to put them in place to see how they fit. I did measure everything, so make sure everything would fit right. And it does. Everything fits fantastically. I like these rolling pins because they do have the longer handles. And so I think they can be displayed a little bit easier and better. And now I'm just going to take my time and do a lot of extra embellishing. I'm going to use these items here. And so I just do these off camera. Now I'm going to prepare my piping bag to do some full frosting. I'm just going to take one of these piping bags from the Dollar Tree and one of these cups, and then this middle tip is a start tip that I have. And I'm going to snip off the very pointy part of this bag and then fold it down And then for spackling, I like to use the Dollar Tree stuff, but they don't have it right now, so I'm going to use the Fast and Final by DAP. And I actually like this one better. It's super creamy and you don't have to add paint. It literally stays bright white. So I'm going to take a craft stick and fill up my piping bag with this luscious looking stuff. And then close this up tight, put it away for another time. Now I'm going to pick up my piping bag and push down all the contents to the very tip and get ready for piping. Okay, here I'm just going to start doing some piping action on the very top where it was like a big crack. And I'm just going to take my time. I did speed this up just to make it a little bit more efficient. And I'm just going to add this everywhere on the two sides of the base, and then right here a little bit extra on the roof, and then here on the very side, the back side, and then some on the front. And then that is it for this one. I'm just gonna touch up the two sides like this, and that is it. Here's how it looks and a closer look at the final reveal. Like I mentioned earlier, this video is a part of the Snowman versus Gingerbread Men DIYs. And on the Snowman team, we have Kathy Jo from Kathy Jo DIYs, we have Mary from craftwithme, and we have Carolyn from Craft Classy. And on the Gingerbread Man team, we have Brenda from Rustic and Lace DIY, yours truly, and Katie from Red Lady Crafting. So when you're done watching my video, please head on over to my description box, click the link to the playlist, and watch all the videos. And if you'd like to vote on your favorite team, just head on over to Rustic and Lace DIY under post and go ahead and vote. It's so simple. For DIY number 2, I'm going to use these 3 pieces of Dollar Tree wood, this little plaque here, this tray that we all love to use, and this little treasure box or jewelry box. On the box, I'm going to remove all the hardware. We won't be using any of this, but we will save this stuff for another time. And I'll put away the lid of the box. We won't be using this right now. So I'm just going to use these 3 pieces for this project. And I'm going to use my nutmeg brown paint by Apple Barrel. Give it a full double coat on these. Now I'm going to take a larger peppermint. This I got from Amazon, and some of the Dollar Tree baker's twine. And I'm going to thread this into this peppermint and secure it down with a good triple knot. That way it's nice and secure and it won't come off. And then snip off the excess baker's twine right here. Okay, now this is going to be my pendulum because I'm making a grandfather clock, gingerbread one. So I'm going to thread it through the handle portion of this wooden tray, kind of place it in the center, and take a little dab of hot glue and press it down with my silicone spatula, like here. Allow the glue to set. And now I can continue. I'm going to take this little Gingy that I have from another project, and I'm going to adhere him to the back of this peppermint because I thought that would be a cute look. Like he's hanging on there being mischievous. That was like one of my grandkids. Okay, so now I'm going to take some of the wood glue, the super glue wood glue that I love. I'm going to add this to the bottom of my tray, and then a little bit of hot glue for the instant hold, and place it down in the center of this little wood plaque. And then taking this box portion here, I'm trying to figure out placement, and now I'll add some of the super glue wood glue and some hot glue for the immediate hold, and pressing it down centered. Now it's starting to look like a little clock, I think. Now we just actually need a clock face. At my local thrift store, I found this adorable piece, and the little clock face does come out. It kind of comes out in pieces, but I figured the size was right and the price was right, so whether or not it actually functions, it didn't matter to me. It is battery operated, so I did remove the old battery that was in here and got one of my Amazon batteries, put it in, and guess what? It actually works. Wow, win-win. So I was pretty happy about that. The little arm is moving, yay. And come to find out, this is actually a name brand. I didn't know. So I'm taking the cover piece, cleaning it off with some rubbing alcohol, getting it nice and clean. And then for this portion, I'm going to go ahead and paint it with a little bit of white acrylic paint but I'm trying to see if it fits perfectly, and it does. Oh my goodness, unbelievable. So here's my white paint, paint it up like this, and use some Mod Podge as well in the gloss. Now I'm going to put my little clock back together. I'm going to place my cover on first, kind of place it, and then get the little clock inside. Took a little finagling because I wasn't really sure how it went, but no problem, we got it. Put it inside, and look at that, so cute. So now we're going to go ahead and do some embellishing, because you know we got to do embellishing. So I'm going to begin with some of these straws from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to take these pieces, these resin pieces that I created in another video. I never used them, so we'll be using them here. So I'm just going to set this on a little dish, that way I can keep the head part a little bit upright. And I'm just going to go ahead and measure these, and they fit pretty perfectly. So I'm just going to take some hot glue and add it to the two ends, and pressing it down in the very front here on the side for a little embellishing. And then I do the same thing to the other side, of course, just placing these here. And then I'm going to decorate the corners with these straws from the Dollar Tree, just going up with some hot glue and placing it on. And then I do the same thing to the other side, and later I do go back and do the back side of it too, but at the time I couldn't find the rest of my straws. I know I purchased more, so for now this is what we're doing. Here's a few more pieces that we're going to utilize, because you guys know I like to utilize everything that I possibly can. So this long one here, I'm going to go ahead and cut it and place on the very top. So here I'm trying to figure out placement, which ones to cut. And I apologize that I'm a little out of frame. Sometimes I forget. I'm so sorry. I'm just doing a line of glue and then placing the straw across the top. And then I'm going to do a couple on the sides. I just have to measure and cut and trim. This would fit perfectly here. So I just go up with some hot glue, place that on here, and then do the same thing to the other side. Kind of measure, snip, and then do a little bit of hot glue. This one needed just a little more trimming, and then go up with my hot glue. And these actually help hold the clock face in place, actually, so it's a win-win for sure. Okay, so now for the very top, I decided to take some little beads just to put on top of the two tall straws. So I do a little bit of hot glue and place them on top. So here's one, and here's the other. And then I do the same thing to the back side a little later. Okay, so now I'm liking the way it's looking. And now I go find my rest of my straws. Now go ahead and finish the back side, because you know I want a complete look, not just the front. So I'm going to go up with some hot glue, placing the straw on here. And then I just go ahead and do the same thing to the back side until it looks like this. And then here's one last little piece I put on the front. And then I do end up putting another one on the very top, but I don't show that. Okay, so here it is. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my spackling, and I'm just going to do a little bit of faux whipped cream on different areas. And I'm just going to have fun, go at it, and add a ton of this luscious stuff. And then that way my embellishments will stick to this faux whipped cream. And I just go ahead and go around and do all the sides. And then on the very front, a little bit here, and a couple little dabs where the straws end. That way everything has a finished look. So like right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. All these little spots here. A little dabadoo. Yep. And right here. Okay. Oh, here, one more. Two more. Okay. Yeah, I can't get enough of this stuff. It's so good. Oh, and some here. And on the other side. Okay, I think that's it. That's the last one. Oh, okay, one more. Okay. Okay, I guess there's more. Oh, and I went around the clock face. Yes, I did. I remember that now. I did. I was at the very end of this piping bag, so I figured I'd use it, and then that way it has a complete look. Now I'm going to take my embellishments, and I'm just going to have fun adding these pieces to here. So here are my embellishments. I'll go ahead and use some of these peppermints. I used 2 of the smaller ones on the 2 sides, and then a larger one in the center, and then a couple more on the inside where the little handle is, the tray handle that I placed some of the spackling there. So I added a couple of pieces down there, and then I'm going to use a little bit of greenery and then some of my embellishments that I have in my stash. They're just little gingerbread house, a couple little gingerbread trees. These are made out of resin. I think I got these from Amazon. Might have been last year. And then some pieces on top. These little guys, I got them this year for Christmas in July, I think. I'm just trying to take my time. Well, I gotta go a little bit quick because the spackling, it's called fast and final. Yes, it does dry fast. So I just gotta kind of work a little quickly. Some little candy canes. And then my greenery, I decided to just pick off one for each side. And I just take a little sprig, add some hot glue, and I place it inside my spackling. And then this one I had to add a little bit of hot glue going up to hold onto. That way it didn't fall. And then I did the same thing to the other side. This piece here, a little bit of hot glue. This time I went up a little bit with the hot glue and then placed it against my little grandfather clock. And then off camera I did add a few little berries here and there, and I think then I added a bow. Oh, here's some more of the little berries. Okay. And then I do add a bow. I didn't make the bow on camera, but I made it off camera, and this right here. And I'm just going to add it to the very back of my peppermint, and I'm just going to do a little bit of hot glue, put it down right here. And then I take another little berry. I don't know if I filmed that part or not, but little berry goes in the center of my bow. And here's how it looks, and a closer look at the final reveal. For DIY number 3, I'm going to take 2 of these Dollar Tree crates, and I start off by making these holes on the sides of these crates because I was a little ambitious, but scratch that. I decided not to use those holes. Okay, so now we're going to take some of the super glue wood glue, and I'm going to place these crates together side to side with a little bit of hot glue for the immediate hold, and pressing them against each other and utilizing my craft clamps. That way they'll stay in place. That way I can keep working. Then I go ahead and paint everything with the nutmeg brown. Did a couple coats, and ignore those wood dowels. We ended up not using those. Now I'm going to take 4 of these wood planks from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use some more of my wood glue, super glue wood glue, and put a little bit on the end of one. And I'm going to take a parchment paper piece because this stuff will leak everywhere, and I'm going to place them together like this. And then I do the same thing to the other 2 in the same manner, like this. Just kind of make it a little bit thin, not too much. Placing them together, allow these to set and dry. It only takes about 5 minutes. I'm going to paint them with a nutmeg brown, give them 2 coats, and I'm going to go back in with the super glue wood glue, and I'm going to do a line all the way across one of these like this, and then taking the second one and placing it on top in a diagonal, kind of like a roof shape. And I'm going to utilize some of my paint bottles to help hold it up right here and right here. And then I allow these to set and dry for a while. I think I actually let this dry overnight just because of the weird angle. In the meantime, I'm going to place this in the back and continue working. And originally I got ambitious. I was going to do wheels with an axle, but then I scratched that idea. They were just too wobbly, so I just decided to use hot glue and adhere them directly onto the sides of these crates. So here is my third, and then here's my last one real quick, and placing it on the table to make sure everything is nice and even, and it is. It looks great. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and then take this piece that's pretty much dry now, and I'm gonna flip it down and push it back a little further. That way I can continue taking some more of these straws, and then I'm taking some of these wood dowels that I found in my stash that fit inside of these straws almost perfectly. That way these straws will be nice and strong because these will be holding up this roof. So I need them to be strong. They can't just be paper. I think some plastic straws would have been great, but this is what I had from the Dollar Tree, so this is what I'm using. And I'm just going to snip off the excess of the wood dowels. Add some hot glue on the inside. That way they'll stay nice and secure. So here's one ready to go. Snip off this other little piece on the other side. Make sure it's nice and flush. And then I went ahead and did this to all four in the same manner. Now here I'll show you that the ends, they are full. They have the wood dowels inside. Then I'm going to take some hot glue and do a dab on the bottom. I didn't think to do the dab on the side, but here I remember because it tumbled. So I'm going to add a line of hot glue on the side, and then that way it'll stay. Same with this one right here, and then this holds them very, very well. So do another dab, and then on the side on this one as well as this one. Yeah, sometimes you just live and learn, right? Okay, so now for the top, I'm going to just kind of figure and center where it goes, and then I'm going to begin by adding some hot glue on the points of all of these straws with the wood dowels, and I'm going to balance it and place it on the top, center as much as I can. Allow the glue to set for a second. This will not be the only glue I'm adding. This is going to hold it for me for now. Now I'm going to place it on the side. I'll start with this side, and I'm just going to use some of the Fix All adhesive from Dollar Tree. It's kind of like an E6000, and I'll do a nice glob on each of the points. And now this will be my long-lasting hold, and then I do the same thing to the other side, and this will make sure that this will hold and be secure up there. I don't want this thing falling apart, that's for sure. Okay, so now I'm pretty happy with that, and I can continue while the glue is setting. Now I'll take this little tea set from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to use the little plates. I thought about using the other pieces, but I just decided to use just the little plates. So here you see me just kind of getting everything ready to paint, but no. Now I went ahead and painted them white, just the little plates. Now I went into my stash and found all my little faux pieces of food. So I had these little colorful lollipops. So I'll do one plate with some lollipops, and then I do another plate with some donuts, and then another plate with some macarons, and then some little peppermints and gingerbread cookies. Gotta have gingerbread cookies. Then I went ahead and adhere them all onto these little plates. Now I'm ready to add these to my little cart. Here's my little cart ready to go. I'm taking some of these tumbling top blocks. I did a grouping of 4 to create little towers, and I'm just going to place them on the inside of the crates. These would be kind of like risers, but they really won't be visible. They're just to help rise the plates of goodies. So here's the 4th one, and now I could take my little plates of goodies, and I'm just going to add some hot glue to the top portion of the risers. Oh, here I'm showing you that I did a little bundles of candy canes as well. Here I'm just showing you how it's going to look. Little trial run. Okay, so now this one was coming undone, so I'm going to add a little bit more hot glue. Okay, so now I'm ready to adhere these, and I'm just going to add the hot glue to the very tops of these little risers and placing my little plates on top. And I kind of went a little extra and filled them up. So I'm trying to figure out where to place them. I put the full one of the macarons on the right side, and then this one with the lollipops on the left, and then this one with the donuts over here on this side, and then the last one with the little peppermints and gingerbread cookies right here. And then these little bundles, for now I just placed them in here, but then I ended up doing something else with them. Now I'm pretty happy with the way it's looking, so I'm going to go in with my spackling now to give it that faux whipped cream frosted look, and definitely on the roof of this where the 2 panels are glued together. So here I'm just going to speed this up a little bit and show you that I go all the way around on both sides. And it's not a perfect job, but that's okay, you know. In real life, my frosting technique is not perfect at all. Okay, so here it's done. Now I'm going to take my embellishments, and I got to work kind of quick because, again, this stuff is called Fast and Final. and you have to be fast. So I'm just going to add some peppermint to the very top to help balance them right here. And I do three on each side. So I'll do 2 more on this side, and then I do more embellishing off camera just because it was a lot and my video probably would have been about an hour long. And here's how it looks, and a closer look at the final reveal. If you're on Instagram, here's my QR code. I invite you to scan it and come follow me on there. I post on there Monday through Fridays, as well as TikTok. Here's my QR code for there. Here is my QR code for Facebook, also Monday through Fridays, as well as my Pinterest. Here's my QR code for there. And here's my Lemonade account as well. And my Threads account. This is my handle, also Monday through Fridays. Here's my Hometalk QR code. I invite you to come scan it. Post on there twice a month. I do have a Facebook crafting group. I invite you to come join us there. And now we're at the final reveal. Let me know what you think and which one is your favorite one. Well, I want to take a moment and say thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day and watch my video. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys did enjoy it. I really had a lot of fun creating for this video and being a part of the Gingerbread Man team. But definitely take the time to watch the playlist. I'll have it linked in my description box, and I'll also pin it in my comments for your convenience. And then if you'd like to vote, head on over to Brenda's channel, Rustic and Lace DIY, and the community tab where it says post, and vote for the team that you enjoyed the most. So definitely it'll be our team. But I do hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet, and if you want to see more, definitely subscribe to my next videos. Stay healthy, safe, and strong, and have a great day. Bye bye.